Hey everyone, Cell here. I don't know if/when I'll ever get around to posting this, but a while back I started farming some Tetracompasses. I've gotten up to 50 now, and if we look here, that is a third of what I've done in total on this account. So 50 ancient caskets to open. Thought I'd detail my method and how I've gotten to this point and how I'm going to proceed with these going forward, because I do plan on doing more at some point. Whoops, almost accidentally opened one. Anyways, quick reference of stuff I've got. I'm not going to take all of these out because they're just going to fill back up anyways. I'm hoping these 73 spaces are enough. I took out all my materials from material storage, so here's what I had prior to this, just because everything's going to get dumped there and I want to have a good idea of what kind of materials I'm getting from these 50 ancient caskets. So the main difficulty in getting or finishing Tetracompasses is it's really mostly just an optimization problem. So you're looking to just minimize the amount of time it takes to finish one Tetracompass. It's still going to be in the order of hours, but because this is such a focus for me, for example, I have 905k chronotes, and whenever I'm actively worried about this, I am sending off research to Warforge, and I can walk over here and show that as I'm talking about other stuff. So things like that, and then for main accounts, there's a lot of information out there about what you should do. Some people do the high level spots for the spear tip chance. Not really worth it if you're just going for Tetracompasses. If you need a spear tip, then yeah, more power to you. If not, though, and you're just going for Tetracompasses, you want to do one of two things. In RuneScape, non-Ironman, you want to maximize the amount of artifacts you can get per hour. So, because you can just buy materials. In Ironman, it's still about maximizing artifacts per hour, but you're worried about artifacts you can restore per hour. And that is different than the amount of artifacts you collect, because typically you're not going to have the amount of materials required to restore all of the artifacts you dig up. So pretty much, if you have excess materials, like I showed over here, I've got malachite green, some rubber, some Warforged bronze, things of that nature, the Warforged dig site materials. If you have excess of those that you need for Green Gobbo Goodies 1, then you do that one. That's the one RuneScape does if they're, buying materials and whatnot, because it's the most artifacts per hour. So if you have excess materials and you're not going to run out, you do the one that you can get the most artifacts per hour from. Otherwise, you do Red Rum Relics 1, and collector information here, Bet knows. So this one has 4 artifacts in the collection. These two, the spot you get them from, has a 3rd artifact that is not included in this collection. So you'll end up with a ton of an artifact that you don't want to restore. But this hits the equilibrium of materials and artifacts per hour, such that this is most efficient if you're starting from 0. So as I mentioned, I am doing Green Gobbo Goodies because I have excess materials, and sending out research here with Mr. Mordot. I don't know actually how to pronounce his name, but gives a chance to obtain a Tetracompass piece, research time divided by 24. So my actual research takes 16.5 hours, I believe, with everybody on this team. That is not what matters. What matters is when you send it out, when you're sending them out for 24 hours. That is what this chance is based on. So you send them out for 24, you always get a Tetracompass. Doesn't matter if it takes 24 hours or 22 or 16. And then I have Movario and Asgarnia Smith for extra materials, because might as well, especially Movario. It is a big increase to the amount of materials you're getting, which helps with the sustain I mentioned earlier. I will say sending out missions is not a thing you should do, research missions, because, or unless you're focused entirely on Tetracompasses. Like I said, I have a lot of excess chronotes, so I'm not worried about this dipping down quite a bit, especially because I do archaeology a lot when I'm playing anyways, so it's easy for me to build that back up if I need to. So that's phase 1 of my big plan here, just getting started. Phase 2 is I'm only using Warforged materials and artifacts right now. Well, I'm going to get materials and artifacts from every dig site from Tetracompasses. So, what I'm going to do now is, after I open these, I will have artifacts from the various other Tetracompass collections from the various dig sites, and I will use those to contribute towards my next set of 50, 100, whatever I decide to do. And I know I'm like spazzing out with menus and stuff here, but yeah. So that's the plan. Basically roll this forward. There's also another thing I forgot to mention, the boosts. So T, irrelevant. Tarps, not really relevant either. Soil can get you more materials, sure, but not hugely relevant. Monocles and manuals, very relevant. So any of those you can get from caskets are going to help with the next set as well. And I should have used these, but I forgot until the end. I did use some early on, I believe, but not in when I returned after a few months break. So I'll get more of those from here, and then I'll be able to use those for the next set as well. Those aren't worth buying, by the way, if you're thinking about that. You save more time unless you have absolutely no use for your chronotes, including like the research, like you're over-sustaining for research because you're going that hard, then these aren't worth it. So yeah, I guess I'll head up to here and teleport, take the lazy way, and sit next to the box. Let's see, starting at just over 150 mil archaeology XP, got that this morning when I was restoring stuff. So I can go ahead and start cracking these open, I guess. Probably going to get quite a few pages from this as well. I think what I can do is just keep... Oh, I forgot about the alcohols too. That'll be pretty nice. And I believe it's 400 to 600 total materials per Tetracompass. You always get one elite or one master clue, so it should be about 25 of each of those. Yeah, okay, if I click open on the next one, the tome will just go into my inventory. Yep, more god pages and whatnot. Can I move this out of the way because this is... Oh, great. That's not what I wanted. That is in the way there. Okay, yeah, let's stick with that and then not close that again. Any of the colored materials, I'm pretty sure you can get them from Tetracompasses, but those are probably the biggest deal for me because they're something I actually have to go out of my way to collect. Yeah, there's some. I have excess of Malachite Green and Tyrian Purple, but the other three I have to actually go out of my way and collect, so anything that can help towards the next batch is great as far as that goes. Onyx Dust too. I maybe should have checked how many of some of these things I have, but let's be honest, I'll probably end up making another one of these videos at some point, and we can go into that then. I am really hoping the amount of bank space I had was sufficient. I did already have some artifacts taking up space, and those will obviously stack, so hopefully the 70-something spaces I had were enough for the ones that I was missing, plus any new stuff. Alright, next one. A full Trisk. Oh, I should be keeping an eye out for, yes, binding contracts. These are great as well. I have never made a binding contract, and don't plan on it. I think I'll just get all of mine from Tetracompasses forever, because I like doing them so much. Like I said, masters are pretty nice. More Triskelion pieces, those are all, you know, full Triskelion is an elite, so elites, masters, hardest clues to get, so anything in the way of those is pretty great. Oh no. Oh no! Okay, yeah, that's a lot of artifacts. Alright, cleared up some space. Hopefully that's enough for the time being. Keep going here. I mean, it's all pretty stock standard loot. Just binding contracts are pretty nice. Mostly about fishing for keys. What is it? 1 in 1,000 for a key. 1 in 10,000 for Tony's Matic. Yeah, it is completely unrealistic to ever expect to grind this out. The hero item, that is, for yourself, but I'm not doing this for that. I'm mostly just doing it for the sake of the grind, because I like doing it. Oh, great. Full again? No, because it'll let me open them if I read some of these books. And last 4 here to round it out. More crystal keys, binding contracts, great, and alchables. Alright. That's about it for that. Let's look at the loot. About 6 mil XP here. A little under. Expected 1.5 complete tomes on average. So, a little over 6 mil expected. So, a little under. Slightly unlucky, but again, doesn't really matter. I'm going to get 200 mil doing this over time anyways. So here are the artifacts. Again, kind of a mixed bag. As suspected, slash, I guess I didn't say this early on, but these aren't going to contribute a significant amount of progress towards the next batch. In terms of whatever Tetracompass collections I can scrounge from this, but pretty much anything goes a long way when you're talking about a single Tetracompass taking multiple hours to put together. 31 Masters and 19 Elites is a really good split. Always happy to see more Masters there. I had 346 binding contracts before this, so I rolled that 7 times. Nope, 9 times. Total of 450 there, which is amazing. I will very happily take that. And I guess we should look at material storage info. This is the spread of materials gotten. The only 2 I didn't get any of are malachite green and fossilized bone, which is fine, I guess. The Bandosian materials are pretty good all around. Ooh, 600 cobalt blue is very nice. So, for reference, total of 7,500. Is that right? 150 times 50? Yeah. 7,500 color materials for that batch of 50. And looking here, we've got 200, 0, 600, 400, 500. So 1,700 is pretty good return on that as far as I'm concerned. Saves a fair amount of time when it comes to gathering those, and those are far more annoying to gather than just like AFKing the spots, because you have to do material caches for them, and they're pretty annoying because they deplete. So yeah, that was pretty much it. There's some other artifacts in here, sure, from the ones I had prior to this. And I should mention, on the way here, material caches relevant to this. I made a Hone 6 refined for Matic of Time and Space, in addition to my Hone 6 Fortune 3 Prosper one. I don't care about Imsold, I'm fine making more porters, and I don't like drinking potions when I'm AFKing. And there's one more thing oh yeah, this. Tool belt. I have a third Matic of Time and Space there, because why not? I got a ton of extra Dragon Matics when I was training Hunter, and I've been doing a lot of Warforged, so the Mkando Matics were easy to put together. AFK some harps, etc. Might as well do that. Yeah. Just for the extra bit of flair, I guess, that I'm potentially maybe someday famous for. Who knows? Anyways, that is about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, / my rambling, and I might see you soon with some Melvor videos. Stay tuned for that. Thanks for watching. See ya.